It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast, and this time we're going to once again talk to Tim North. Now, we've spoken with Captain Tim North of the Salvation Army many times, but this time it's in a different capacity. For the last 3 years, he has been the president of the Newton Kiwanis Club, and so this time we'll be chatting with him about the Kiwanis Club and what their purpose is and the various activities they're involved in. I went to a Kiwanis Club meeting here, I think it was a couple years ago, and really enjoyed myself there, and I would have probably joined the Kiwanis Club myself, but at one of their meetings I found out that they meet on the first Wednesday of the month, and by golly, I can't attend that because that also happens on the same day that I meet with a bunch of radio fellas. We always meet the first Wednesday of the month at the Machine Shed in Des Moines, and we talk radio things. Go figure. So it is a great organization, and as I mentioned during the podcast, I used to belong to Kiwanis at one time when I worked at KCOB in the 80s, and I also belonged to Kiwanis when I lived in the Waterloo, Cedar Falls area. So it's a great organization, and I'm now a Rotarian, and we give each other a hard time, but it's all for the good. So find out about the Newton Kiwanis Club next with Tim North. Next, right here on the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. First, a word from our sponsors, including Johnson Aviation. Stop on out and say hi to Ethan at Johnson Aviation at the Newton Airport. Now through mid-April, they have an introductory flight lesson for only $75. You can go up in that plane, and they can show you a little bit about how a plane functions, maybe get you behind the wheel and show you a little bit about that. And I have a nephew that got his pilot's license, and boy, is he excited about it. And his dad has his pilot's license too. And boy, it's an exciting thing to have your pilot's license. If that's something you've always dreamed about, stop on out to Johnson Aviation at the Newton Airport and get in on a $75 introductory flight lesson. It's only $75 through mid-April at Johnson Aviation at the Newton Airport. Stop on out and say hi to Ethan or Lisa out there. They'd be glad to take you up in that plane and show you what it's all about. Another fine sponsor is Newton Clinic. When was your last annual checkup? An annual physical is one of the easiest ways to stay ahead of your health. It's a chance to check in, review screenings, and talk through any concerns you might have before they become bigger issues. Even if you're feeling great, routine checkups matter. Schedule your annual physical at Newton Clinic today. And also know that February is American Heart Month. Your heart works hard for you every day. Show it some love with small healthy habits like staying active and eating balanced meals. February is Heart Month, and the folks at Newton Clinic want to remind you of that. Also, Ryan's Tire and Auto on First Avenue in Newton. They are proud to officially announce the Road Ahead Scholarship for graduating high school seniors in Jasper County. This scholarship is designed to support students who are pursuing a career in the automotive trades, whether that's automotive technology, diesel mechanics, collision repair, or related technical fields. Now, if you're a Jasper County senior planning to build your future in the automotive industry, this opportunity is for you. You can invest your skills, build a strong foundation, and drive your career forward. And on their Facebook page, they ask you to take a moment to read through the scholarship information and share this post with a Jasper County senior who is pursuing a career in automotive trades. Applications are now open. Don't miss out. And again, you can find out more about that on the Ryan's Tire and Auto Facebook page. Check it out. And also another one of our fine sponsors is the fine folks at Wesley Life Park Center in Newton. And as I have mentioned many times, Wesley Life Park Center is where my sister lived the last 5 years of her life, and they treated her real good, and they'll treat you real good too at Wesley Life Park Center, where you can pursue your joy at Park Center. And the way you can do that is by their way of offering living options across a continuum at Park Center, where they provide vital, enriching environments for everyone. A community for healthy living focused on holistic health and well-being. Their programming enhances emotional, intellectual, and spiritual wellness and enables you to live a life that's healthier in every way. Park Center is at home in Newton, with many residents and team members having lived in their lives. To learn more about Park Center's different levels of living and to find out the lifestyle that's right for you, contact Lisa Zylstra at 641-791-5000. That's 641-791-5000. at Wesley Life Park Center. Another fine sponsor on the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast is Advantage Credit Union. Stop on in and say hi to the fine folks at Advantage Credit Union.
Not all checking accounts are Olympic ready. Advantage Credit Union's Cha-Ching Rewards Checking is the gold standard that pays you 3% APY on balances up to $10,000. Simply do the things you're already doing at that other place and get paid up to $25 per month for it at ACU. Earn more on your everyday balance, plus no minimum balance or monthly service fees. Local money, local decisions, local service, and locally owned by you. Advantage Credit Union, where our members win every time.
APY's annual percentage yield restrictions apply. See Credit Union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA.
It's time for an Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast. And this guy that I'm going to be talking to today, I've spoken with many times as Captain Tim North of the Salvation Army. But this time, it's just going to be Tim North.
Right.
President for like 3 years at least now with the Kiwanis Club of Newton. And, you know, back when I was with the radio station, I did I think it was a feature scope or some kind of thing with the Rotary Club, which I am a member of in Newton. I'm a past board member and president of the Newton Rotary Club. And now I've joined the Optimist Club in Newton because God knows I don't want to be a pessimist.
Right. I can see you being very optimistic with that.
And I would join the Kiwanis Club, but I know they meet twice a month. And the first Wednesday of the month, I meet with my radio friends, the Machine Shed in Des Moines, including a mutual friend of ours, Jim Beam. Yes, that's his real name. And so I thought, you know, what the heck? Let's throw him a bone and, you know, and get some information on the Kiwanis Club, which, you know, it's an old indigenous word for I'd really rather be a Rotarian.
Well, I've heard that,
It's an old joke. We always bring that up.
Absolutely.
And I actually took a pie in the face a few years ago.
Yeah, when we were both presidents.
Yes, because we lost at the Red Kettle campaign to the Kiwanians, who seem to beat our pants off every year. But it's all for good. It is. And all joking aside, both the Rotarians and Kiwanians and any of those service clubs that are involved in the Red Kettle campaign for the Salvation Army do good works. But I did want to put in a plug for the Kiwanis Club. It's been around for a long time, hasn't it, Tim?
Well, if you look at internationally, they say it's been around since about 1915. I do understand in Newton, it was about 1950s is when it came to Newton. So, yeah, just a couple days. You know, we've been around. And the thing, like for me, and even like probably even Rotary, is the nice thing is I'm part of an international organization, you know, with the Salvation Army, but Kiwanis is internationally. It's not just U.S. And some people forget that some of these service clubs, such as Kiwanis and Rotary, both are international. We do stuff overseas. So,
yeah. Now, Peggy belongs to Rotary. You belong to Kiwanis.
Yeah, house divided.
House divided. How is it that you ended up in Kiwanis and she ended up in Rotary?
Well, if you want the somewhat short, long story, no. When we arrived here in Newton, we had one of Wes. Not Wes. Wade.
Wade Sheeler?
Yeah, Wade came and was wanting to talk to me about Rotary. I mean, you know, we heard new members in town, right?
Right.
No.
And Wade's the president this year of Rotary.
And I had declined, most of all because I had just came from Moline, Illinois, you know, where we came from before we came here, and I was president of the Moline Kiwanis Club. So I had kind of deflected it. No, not deflected him, but said, well, why don't you talk to my wife? And she, you know, then by, you know, not too much coercing, became a Rotarian. But a lot of it for me was at that point is this is probably, I have been a Kiwanian, let's see, I probably started in 2003.
Okay.
So this is 23 years
Oh, okay.
that I have been a Kiwanian most of the time wherever I move to. So that's
Okay.
kind of why I stuck to Kiwanis as opposed to being coerced over to, that one that wants to be Kiwani. No,
Uh-huh.
no, over to Rotary. But so that's really kind of where I came from. Is be kind of hard for. Technically, when I came, I was still president because my term hadn't been given up, but it wouldn't look great for the president of Kiwanis from another just to automatically flip over to Rotary. No.
It would be weird a little bit. But I got to tell you, truth be told, when I worked at KCOB in the 80s, I belonged to Kiwanis.
Oh,
And then for a number of years...
you went to the dark side. No.
Well, apparently so. When I lived in Waterloo, Cedar Falls area, I also belonged to Kiwanis.
Oh.
And so when I came to Newton, I have a very good friend who you know, and a lot of people around town know and love, Jeff Mackey.
Yep.
Sponsored me to get into Rotary.
Yep.
And so that's how it happened. I will say this. You know about the charity that I co-founded in Waterloo.
Yep.
And it was called Jamie and Jim's Kids. And a guy who you told me is on your board, a very prominent guy involved with a car dealership here in town, Jason Lauterbaugh, invited me to a Kiwanis meeting to show the video of Jamie and Jim's Kids.
Oh, wow.
And I would love to come back sometime if I could. If you could run it, maybe I've thought about dubbing it off to a laptop again and showing the video of it. It's like a 20-minute video of one of our first trips to Walt Disney World. And it shows the power of local radio. It really does.
Yeah.
Because we were just a 6,000 watt radio station in Waterloo, Cedar Falls, Iowa. And it's just a crazy story. You know the whole story. We're not going to go into it because we want to talk about Kiwanis. But Jason invited me to it.
Wow.
And maybe at that time I should have thought about joining Kiwanis. I did not. But I ended up joining Rotary. So I have belonged to Kiwanis at one time. Was my whole point on this whole thing.
Right, and I joke about it, but the big thing is, and if you really look at both Rotary and Kiwanis, we're both service organizations. We both give to the youth. We both are very committed to our communities. One reason it's always been for me being part of Kiwanis has always been because for me, when I first was invited to Kiwanis, it really lined up with what I do with the Salvation Army. And I know Rotary does the same thing. It might have done the same thing for me if I would have been invited to Rotary first, but the whole idea of youth.
And you've spoken at Rotary before too.
Yep. Several times, I think. But the big thing is it's really that. For me, the whole thing with Kiwanis is that youth support.
Sure.
Because who's going to be our future?
Right.
In 30 years or maybe 50, hopefully 50, but, probably not. Nobody will know who Tim North is, But that he was that weird guy that was here years ago, but they'll know who our youth are.
So when do you guys meet, first of all?
We meet twice a month. We meet the first and third Wednesday at noon at First
Presbyterian Church?
There's
There's a couple Presbyterian church
That's the problem
right
is I don't remember which one is what.
Block area, real close to each other.
Yeah, it's the one right.
It's the Green Church.
Yeah,
it's the Green Church.
And I'm awful. I think it is actually United Presbyterian, if I remember correctly. Sorry. My problem is I walk out of my office and I walk right straight across the parking lot and I'm right there. So you don't have to tell me what it is. So but we meet twice a month, and a lot of that I guess came out of COVID. Initially, they used to meet monthly, and then of course COVID's changed a lot of things.
Sure.
But we found that twice a month is about what we do. The first one is regular meetings, and then we actually have regular meetings on the second one, or on the third week of the month. But we also have our board meeting that meets directly after our meeting on the third.
What usually happens at your meetings?
Well, typical. There is some business aspects of it. Um, your typical happy dollars. We call them happy dollars. I think Rotary might.
Rotary bucks.
Rotary bucks, yeah. For us, we call them happy dollars because we're happier being Kiwanians. But and really, it's just almost a time you can brag on yourself. You can say, hey, this is something I'm happy about. You can be happy even just for the weather. I mean, this week I don't know if weather would have been a great happy dollar thing, but
well, by the end of the week, we're supposed to see 50-degree temperatures again.
Ooh, yeah. So that like that. So, but some of it is we do some of that. We also host majority. Of course, not during the summertime. And I think you guys even do too with Rotary. Is we have Students of the Month,
right?
We invite kids to come and kind of experience it. So, if a typical meeting would be is we'd call to order, we'd say the Pledge of Allegiance. Behind that, sing the first verse of America, and we'd pray together, and then we'd move on into introductions. If we have guests, we would then in turn talk maybe some business announcements, if there's something that's happening in Kiwanis internationally, or if it's Kiwanis and district-wise, or even, locally here. And at that point, we would talk about the Key Club that we sponsor, which is ultimately it's the high school group of Kiwanis, or Action Club, which is another branch of Kiwanis for those that may have some developmental. But I think it's great. I love Action Club. They're so fun to be around. Sometimes they're more exciting than maybe some of us, but
sure.
They're more excited about it. Maybe
isn't that kind of tied in with Progress Industries?
Yes. Yep. It is, and so we have those type of announcements, and then we really kind of go into programs. Programs are pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Like last week, we had the mayor that talked about the city and his vision for the city. Before that, matter of fact, the 2 weeks before that, we had a gentleman from CASA talking about being a child advocate for kids in the court systems and that type of thing. We've had programs even to the point of we had a gal come in that wrote a book on how to tell your kids about grandma who has dementia.
Oh, sure. Terry Leadham.
Yep, absolutely.
Sure,
So, I mean, there's such a variety because the thing is it's not just, it's just boring stuff. When you leave, you've hopefully learned something from the program. I mean, like this last week, okay, here's what the mayor's looking at doing for the city. Or, CASA, how can I help a kid that's going through the court system? Here's how I can do it. So, there's lots of things that we do, and then we go home and hopefully make a difference.
Speaking of making a difference, you have quite a list of other events that you are involved in.
Absolutely.
With the city too, Tim.
Well, some of the things I do know that we sponsor. Of course, one of the big things, and I made is the Kiwanis or the Key Club. We do sponsor them, and we do have the sponsorship of the Action Club. But then we also sponsor Jasper County Conservation Summer Camps.
Okay.
We're actually, some of our members absolutely love this part of it. The Halloween at Maytag Park, giving out candy and popcorn, and some of them dress up, some don't need to. No, I mean no. I would be one of the ones that don't need to. We have the shelter out at Maytag Park. I think just about a year ago or so, we did some repairs out there to that. If I remember right, it was the benches and did some little things like that. We do some stuff with the sports banquet with the high school. Matter of fact, Red Pride Day with the high school. We do some sponsoring there. Dollars for Scholars, the senior breakfast. We do a lot. If you notice, they're all youth oriented because if you look at what part of the Kiwanis talks about, then the whole thing is it says improving lives of children one community at a time. So what it is, and you look at a lot of this is youth stuff that we're absolutely involved in. So we want to see our youth become better, better leaders in the community.
Mm-hmm. Fantastic. How much are dues?
Dues depends upon if you want to eat with us or not. No,
Okay.
Realistically, dues are $40 a month if you're going to have a meal with us, and meals are catered. Of course, by one of our many catering companies here in town, right? Called Hy-Vee.
Okay, sure. They cater our meals too.
Yeah, exactly. I think they cater a lot of places because and that's usually a pretty decent meal always. And without the meal, it's like $20 a month. And with that's where some of our money comes to sponsor some of these programs. We do have one other big fundraiser every year, and that's the 4th of July parade. If you see us on the corner, we're selling breakfast pizza in the morning, and then we switch over to different type of pizza after. So you can come have breakfast pizza in the morning before you're watching the parade, watch the parade, then have pepperoni pizza afterwards,
Sure. If someone listening is interested in joining Newton Kiwanis, how can they go about doing that, Tim?
Well, there's lots of ways. One would be contact if you happen to know a Kiwanian. There's like 31 of us around the community. But I would say, if they want to reach out to me, I can get them hooked up. I'll give you my office number. Yes, it is the Salvation Army, but our main number here is 641-792-6131. And then, go to my extension, or better yet, I'll give you a direct number that they can call directly, and it's 515-671-2963. I absolutely would love to, be able to talk to somebody about it if they're interested. The biggest thing is what I see ultimately with Kiwanis is it's investing in our kids that we have in our community.
Mm-hmm. And that's what it's all about. They meet the first and third Wednesdays of the month at noon at the United Presbyterian Church.
Yep.
So check it out, the Newton Kiwanis Club. Our interview guest has been Tim North, president of the Newton Kiwanis Club on Out and About with Jamie Grout. Other fine sponsors of the Out and About with Jamie Grout podcast include Lynette Baker, Halo Branded Solutions, Westside Java Coffee Bar, and the Made Right Sandwich Shop in downtown Newton. Until next time, Grout is out. See ya.